Welcome to Grow Your Money DIY. The open door trade is still going. It's up over 2,000%. And we're going to talk about that and 5 amazing things that actually happened for the company this week, which is why the trade is still going. So, yeah, anyone who was smart enough or caught on to Opendoor around the 50-cent mark, if you invested at 50 cents, it broke over $10 yesterday for a 52-week high so far of 1070. That's a target a lot of people were waiting for, trying to hit. Tons of shares, tons of options. It was a lot of people got pretty rich yesterday. Pulling back a little bit today, but it was up 70% yesterday. Only pulling back about 15% so far today. That's usually about the rhythm, so not too bad. So yeah, if you got in at 50 cents when it broke 1050 yesterday, you were up over 2,000%. So I didn't get in that early, but congrats to anybody that did. I was actually a little disappointed because on my previous video, if you watched, you've seen I actually doubled my position at 360, and on Wednesday, when everything was pulling back, I actually wanted to double again in the fives. And that's when the news catalyst everyone's been waiting for came out. They hired the new CEO. We're about to go over that. So yeah, I missed that chance to double it again because it just started running into the next day. And here we are at 1070 as a new high. So who did they hire? Let's check it out. They hired this guy, Kaz Najatian. He is a former exec at Shopify. A pretty smart guy, great reputation. They actually brought him on as the CEO and brought back 2 of the founders. That is number 2 of the 5 amazing things. So the 2 founders they brought back is Keith Rabois and Eric Wu. Eric Wu is the former CEO, and Keith Rabois is who Eric Jackson had really been trying to bring back onto the board. So just that alone. They have a rock star CEO that, the main thing that moved everything was it's a CEO the market approved of. So the fact that he came from Shopify to take on the job as new CEO says a lot, and it was well received by the market, and that's what you got to pay attention to. And on top of that, he's actually on a performance basis. So instead of getting a huge salary to get paid, he's getting like $1 a year. And he has to actually perform and get the share price to certain milestones. So bottom line, he has a vested interest to make sure that the turnaround for the company that Eric Jackson has been pushing, he has a real drive to actually make that a reality. And I think it's pretty amazing that they brought back the former CEO, Eric Wu, because just think about how a former CEO that actually made mistakes, why the company didn't grow, can actually come back as a support system, actually helping the new CEO, talking about mistakes that he made and what he would actually do different this time. Hindsight's 2020. So that is actually pretty amazing and very smart to bring him back on the board. And yeah, so that I think just those 2 facts alone, the new CEO and the 2 board members they brought back, excited the market a lot and got shareholders really interested. And number 3 is, actually number 4 is they brought back, or when the founders came on the board, they actually brought in $40 million like it says right here, in pipe financing, which is another confidence factor for the market, showing they brought in money to stabilize because, when a share price runs up this much, there's concern that they're going to dilute it and have a major sell-off. But that actually calms things, when it's done a certain way. When it's done in a style like this, it's a calming thing. So that actually, they're not in a rush for cash. So they brought the talent and the money, and that's just like stabilizing things, at least for now. He obviously has to perform, but that is exactly why you've seen it run from $6 on Wednesday to over $10 on Thursday. 70+% run up. That is how it's well received by the market. And number 5, it's a small factor for now, but Eric Jackson actually heard from Drake's team that they're actually paying attention. So that is another catalyst, waiting in the wings that could possibly work out. But, I think it's smart that he's been consistent and in front of his house every day, especially since Drake has been trying to reach out to influencers himself to, keep his clout going. So I think something could possibly happen there, and that's definitely something to watch. So it's small for now, but they communicated they're paying attention. And yeah, Opendoor just had a really good week. So the fact that it's pulled back to 915 right now, not a big deal. If you look at the chart overall, remember what I talked about in the last video? It's surfing the 10-day beautifully. I mean, that's, look at this surge from 770 up to 1070. That is a pretty big surge, and it's just a perfect chart so far. Anything could happen still, but so far everything that happened this week, very good signs. So that was a quick update, and check out my next video where I'll be talking about 2 reasons that could actually help the stock price go even higher, and to balance it out, a reason that could actually cause a short-term sell-off. So I'll be talking about that in the next video. So subscribe, like, whatever you're supposed to do to get notified for when I put that out. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this, and good luck to anybody that had a good week along with everybody in Opendoor. All right.